What do you have, foodies? Today we're gonna make spaghetti meatballs. This is a super simple dish that everyone should know how to make. So let's get into it. Alright foodies, let's start by adding 1 pound or 456 grams of ground beef to a bowl. To the ground beef, we are going to add in 3/4 cup of breadcrumbs that have been soaked in a 1/2 cup of milk. This is the first secret to making the perfect meatballs. The milk-soaked breadcrumbs are going to allow for a very tender meatball by helping it from drying out during the cooking process. Go ahead and add in 1/2 cup or 60 grams of Parmesan cheese and 1/4 cup of chopped parsley. Add 3 cloves of crushed garlic to the mixture. Season with salt and some fresh cracked pepper. Now crack in a whole egg and the zest of 1 lemon. You're actually meant to zest 1 lemon into that mixture of meat for your meatballs. Forgot to do it before I made them into the meatballs. Funny story is, I actually forgot to buy this originally for the recipe. So during the recipe, I made my wife go grab the lemon to bring it back for the recipe. And I still forgot to put it in. It's time to get our hands dirty and start mixing our ingredients together. We want to make sure it is well combined. To make sure your meat is perfectly seasoned, you can take a small piece and cook it to taste for seasoning. Once you have the seasoning you're looking for, let's move on and start making our meatballs. Now for secret number 2 for making the best meatballs. Making a bigger ball is going to help keep the meat from overcooking during the final cooking process. I like to use a 1/4 cup scoop or a 1/4 cup measuring cup to get the perfect size meatball. Now let's scoop out all of our mixture and place it onto a baking sheet. Once you have all your meat divided, let's go ahead and roll these into smooth balls. Take 1 meatball and using the palm of your hand, you're going to roll it into a nice little meatball. Once you have all your meatballs rolled, you're going to take a pan and place it on medium heat. To the frying pan, you're going to add 2 tablespoons or 30 milliliters of olive oil. Once the oil is hot, adding your meatballs one at a time, being careful not to overcrowd the pan, as we want the meatballs to fry and brown and not boil. Do this in batches if necessary. Once the meatballs are cooked on one side, carefully roll them over to cook on the other side. Once both sides of your meatballs are cooked, let's remove them from the pan. It's okay if they're not cooked all the way through. This is what we're looking for, as we're going to finish the cooking in the sauce later. Now, to our pan, let's in half a small onion that has been finely diced. Give it a little stir and then crush in 3 cloves of garlic. Optionally, you could add in a tablespoon of red chili flakes here to give it a bit of extra spice and give you a spicy meatball. Let that cook for 1 to 2 minutes. Pour in 1/2 cup or 125 milliliters of your best red wine. If you use a cheap wine, it's going to come through in the flavor and your meatballs are going to be not as good, so use something that you would drink. Now cook the wine down for 2 to 3 minutes and then add in 1 can or 750 milliliters of crushed tomatoes. Go ahead and stir that to combine, then add in 1 tablespoon of thyme, 1 tablespoon of parsley, fresh cracked pepper, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt to taste. Mix it all in. Place all your meatballs back into the sauce and cover and cook on medium-low for 1 hour. And this is the final secret. Cooking your meatballs on a slow heat will help tenderize and make for a more soft and moist meatball. 10 minutes before your meatballs are done, cook 350 grams or 12 ounces of spaghetti noodles in a well-salted pot of water. Ooh, look at those. Those look tasty, but we're not done yet. Remove your meatballs from the sauce so we could add in our pasta. Don't worry about straining your pasta. Add the pasta directly from the pot and give it a good toss in your tomato sauce. It's like a rhyme. I'm a poet and didn't even know it. Now, add back in your meatballs, and it's the time we've all been waiting for to give this a try. Alright foodies, super easy to make. Give it a try. I'm going to right now. Everyone should be able to make this dish. It's super simple. And if you want to impress the girls or the guys, it's the way to do it. Not only is this meal super amazing, it's extremely affordable. Some basic pantry ingredients, a bit of beef, or any kind of meat really. You don't have to use beef. And you have an amazing meal that you can share with your friends and your family. Who doesn't love spaghetti and meatballs? If you like this spaghetti and meatball recipe and you want to see more, make sure you subscribe below. Give me a thumbs up. It helps the channel out. And until next time, foodie out.